right, bitches, this one is for you. Because in my journey of like doing my work and learning my shit and all of that, and being able to see shit that I never chose to see, I got to see a lot of shit that might actually help you women understand some stuff. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up and going to church and all of that stuff, there was always stuff that didn't make sense to me. Always stuff that didn't really resonate with me, and it just didn't feel right. And now I got to see a bigger picture of it. So what if I told you that, ladies, if you close your legs, do not have sex with anyone, and this is if you're dating or whatever, do not have sex with anyone, and you start dealing with your shadow and learning all your karmic lessons, like me, it heals my body, takes 10 years off my life, and I can see things from a higher perspective. What if I told you that the Bible and stuff was missing pieces from it? Certain pieces were missing. The stuff that, you know, didn't make sense, the stuff that they showed as evil, like astrology, astronomy, divination tools, tarot, all those things. Like, because, I mean, if you think about it in history, you know, the witches, somebody like me, a witchy bitch that heals themselves and is able to see things, is burned at the stake. So they made us out to be the enemies and put those pieces in the Bible. But what I had to learn in healing my karmic lessons and all of that is that, one, we have lots of past lives. Lots. We keep coming back and learning the same things to grow. And that's how, like, I think even in the Bible it talks about where you're able to never die or whatever, because when you're born again, if you've learned those lessons, you don't have to learn them again. So once you've learned them all, you literally come back as a pure light being and remembering who you are and all your past lives and all that stuff. The only reason we don't remember that is because of our karmic lessons, and it's like a veil put over our memory. So in my journey this last year, I got to see all my past lives, where my bad decisions played out in history, to know exactly what I need to do as my purpose to help change what I broke in history, to know that there are 3 of your karmic lessons. They're usually attached to family or relationships or whatever. 1 is attached to your mind, usually a narcissist that keeps you in a mind prison. Then I had 1 that was body, church, and state kind of stuff, where it's what we're taught to not rock the boat, body shame of not being good enough, not being perfect enough in like church world and all of that kind of stuff, never good enough, because, you know, if you make 1 mistake, then you're not pure and clean and all those things. And then soul, and that's the lesson and the person or whoever that triggers me learning or us learning all of those things and kind of putting it all in that heals our heart. So those are all different. Those are all the different parts of my business now. Each lesson came with shit that I broke in past lives, to then know my purpose, to know what I stand for and what lights me up and what I need to do against anything that comes in my way, because I can see the problems it caused now and in history. So when we do that though, and we're doing our work, and it's the mind, body, soul, it is literally dragging in your divine counterpart, your person. So if I'm telling you, you close your legs, you do your work, it's literally bringing in your happily ever after. Because the first karmic lesson, the mind one, it's like the Lucifer, which Lucifer stands for light bringer, the one that breaks us, that like causes the crack to let the light in. Because if you think about it, if we were able to do all of those lessons as kids in the safety of our parents' home, under our parents' protective shelter and guidance, then you're coming out at 18 a virgin with your self-worth, your higher perspective, your purpose, all of it, to be dragging in the right person and all of that to match up with you to help you, do your work in the world. The parts that they took out of the Bible make it so we rebel and we end up with the bad boys and all that shit. So what are they doing? They're feeding virgins to the devil. Those little changes in the Bible feed virgins to the devil. Do you see that? That's why we get stuck in relationships, get pregnant when we're young. And the reason my husband started losing it was because I started growing to my potential. The Lucifer, that person, that man, that whatever, he doesn't feel good enough. He doesn't know how to stand up for his potential. He doesn't know how to grow. So we stay small. The world was set up to keep women small. And when we stay in those relationships, we stay small. When we have those same ones come back and keep hitting us, those same kind of guys, we're staying small and not learning our lesson. When we then move to the next one, the body, the shame, all of that, then we get heartbroken, whatever it is. And these can have amazing relationships, but the key that you'll see is they don't know how to be your biggest cheerleader and push you to your potential because their brain can't expand that way. Or the body and all of that, or the church or whatever, their ego gets in the way of surrendering to a woman having truth, being, powerful, having intuition, trusting that women are equals, all of that kind of shit. Like being able to tell us what to wear, all of those things. I'm sorry, if a dude tries to tell me what to wear and that I shouldn't wear something and whatever, I don't wear shit for them, I wear it for me. And my daughter, I remember her telling Dad, Steve, one time, "Are you gonna let Mom go dancing in a skirt and everything like that?" And he starts laughing and he said, "Honey, do you know your mother? If I say something, she's gonna go put on something worse, right? All I can say is I choose my battles knowing that your mom's beyond loyal and she's wearing it for herself. She's not wearing it for attention. She's not wearing it for anyone else. So it's my own insecurities that are triggering me wanting to control what she's wearing." So that is why my focus is on helping women heal themselves, helping systems that hurt women change, and all of the above. Because now I know what I know, that I'm done watching women get fed to devils or stay in bad relationships that keep them small, because we were meant to be the inspirations, the intuitives. Just like back in Egypt and Pharaoh days, their wife was their protector, could see things coming, would help them, guide them on all of their important decisions. And certain people didn't necessarily like that in history. That is why churches were created, because then honor the men, women shrink, arranged marriages, taking women's power away, burning witches at the stake, the crusades that went through and started fighting wars. What God do you know, divine, whatever you want to call it, wanted genocide and wars for people speaking their mind and living how they wanted to live? I don't know that God. I don't believe that is God. I believe those are men with egos and systems that still run our world today. that wanted to dictate how we lived, dictate where money goes, dictate that men were in power and women were less than. Because women couldn't even own property, bank accounts, vote until this century. Which means any time in history, if you left or rocked the boat with your husband, you left with nothing. And you were shunned from ever being married or be able to do anything again. Just like if women cheated, they were beheaded, hung at the stake, killed, like ostracized, but men could have multiple partners. They did all of that to strategically make us end up with the bad boys and the narcissists. But if you close your legs, do your work, literally all narcissists now, if they ever want to get any, if they ever want to get a woman of like substance and worth, they'll have to do their work because they aren't able to play that game with powerful women ever again. And I know slowly but surely that's why I go for the churches, to bring out the truth. Just like the LDS church perpetuating pedophiles and hurting women that were abused, raped, whatever, and them trying to pray it away and leave that pedophile unregistered, unaccountable, not turned into police or anything to get help, as your kid's soccer coach, your teachers, all of that. That's the shit that I'm gonna blow the fuck up, and people better watch out for my chess moves and the seeds that are already growing, because that is my passion. Bring truth, honesty, and I am not in charge of what natural consequences happen after that. So I really hope that they know how to show up for their potential, because I won't find pleasure blowing their world up. I just do what I'm shown to do because I don't work for them. I work for a higher power. And that's the only one I'm meant to listen to. Same thing with all other women. That's the only thing we were ever meant to listen to. Period. So, love you ladies.